Hello friends, welcome back. My name is Laura Crampton. Today I'm going to run through a non-comprehensive list of the physical books that I have DNF'd or did not finish. There are a great deal of them. For a long time, I was of the mindset that I just needed to muscle through. We don't quit. Mom didn't raise a quitter. But now I've realized that life is short. It's too short to waste reading books that you're not enjoying. So there are quite a few books here that I have DNF'd. There are still bookmarks in some of them. They're dusty because I haven't touched them in a while. For the ones that I can remember, I'll tell you why I DNF'd them. We'll just start pulling from the pile here. The first one is The Maze Runner by James Dashner. That's cool when they've got the bookmarks. I got 14, 15 pages into it and I was like, nah, I'm bored. I might give it a shot again another time. Maybe I just wasn't in the right mood for a YA dystopia, which is what I'm assuming this is, because, it looks like it. I always love a good YA dystopia, so I don't know why this one just didn't click, but it didn't. Let's see. I was real excited for this one, The Atomic City Girls by Janet Beard. I got pretty far into this book before, I was underwhelmed by it. I have a whole section on my bookcase here dedicated to World War II fiction and nonfiction. It wasn't doing it for me. This one I would like to finish. It was interesting while I was reading it. I got about halfway through. This is Hitler's Secret Weapons of Mass Destruction by Michael Fitzgerald. I learned a lot of very interesting things from this book. I learned about the origin of the name Foo Fighters. It's not the band. Lights that moved in the sky that nobody could figure out what was happening and why it was. Nobody knew where it was coming from. No one had the technology for ships that could move like that fast in that kind of direction, and they just became known as Foo Fighters. So that was interesting. I would like to finish this book someday. In the same vein as World War II, I was reading No Better Friend by Robert Weintraub. I got about 110 pages into it and then stopped. It is about a purebred pointer named Judy. He found her in an internment camp in the South Pacific during World War II. She could detect friend from foe. She knew when planes were coming and she knew what side those planes were coming from. She was a very dependable dog that helped keep the soldiers alive. It was very interesting, and I would like to finish this book someday. Okay, this next one pains me. I am a huge fan of this author. I watch his content. He helped get me through a lot of my education. He's funny, he's smart, I admire him so greatly. But I could not get through his book, and that made me really sad. And that book is An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. It broke my heart to DNF this one. I was more than halfway through this book, and I just couldn't. I was bored, and I know there's a sequel. Perhaps one day I'll give this another shot because I admire Hank Green so much. I want to read his book. That was a sad DNF. The Thief Lord by Cornelia Funk. I have started this book so many times and never been able to get more than a chapter or two through it. And I know this is a beloved children's classic, and I couldn't do it. I don't know why. I have tried. I read the Inkheart series by her as well. I got through the first 2 books, and I couldn't get through the third, which I don't have a copy of because I was going to the library to borrow a book. Do I give it another try? This one is the 3rd book in a trilogy, The Queen of Nothing by Holly Black. I got bored. It was such a slow burn. It was too slow. Too slow of a slow burn. I wasn't a huge fan of the 2nd book. I actually can't remember if I finished the 2nd book or if I even started this one. I can't remember. This was so hyped up on YouTube and Instagram several years ago, and I just couldn't. That's a good explanation for all of these books. So I am not just a book lover, I'm also a book writer. I'm always reading or trying to read craft books. I could not stay invested in Pity the Reader on Writing with Style by Suzanne McConnell and Kurt Vonnegut. It's not actually by Kurt Vonnegut, but it's his philosophy on writing. I've never actually read anything by Kurt Vonnegut. I feel like that would probably have been the better choice, was to read something by him to see if I even like his writing style. I got 50 pages into it. As an English major, I should know more of his stuff, and I don't. Several years ago, my friend Jesse really wanted me to read A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. I got pretty far into this book. It just wasn't for me. It wasn't for me. And I have the entire series in paperback. I did not watch the show. I have no interest in watching the show. Halo Epitaph by Kelly Gay. This book was written as an homage to Greg Bear, who wrote the Cryptum sub-trilogy within the Halo series. And I couldn't get through those books either. This far in the book, 84 pages into the book, and he's still walking through the desert bemoaning his past. Like, it was a slog at the start, which I can't do it. I can't do books that are a slog at the start. I want to be able to say that I've read every Halo book because I am a Halo fan. I've got a Halo tattoo here on my shoulder. I want to be able to say I've played the games and read all the books, and that there are some that I just cannot get through. And this was one of them. The other Halo book that I have not been able to complete is Silentium. This is the third book in the Forerunner saga, and it's too bad because so many people are like, oh, those are some of my favorites. Those are some of the best ones. I don't see it. Back to 2 bits of classic literature. We've got Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. I had to read this for a class. I think I failed that class that semester anyway, but I definitely did not finish this book. I got to page 18. It's stream of consciousness, one day in this woman's life. I have no idea. 1920s probably. In this vivid portrait of one day in a woman's life, Clarissa Dalloway is preoccupied with the last-minute details of party preparation. And the other one I tried, that's the point of this whole video, I tried to read them and I didn't. This one makes me sad because I'm a huge fan of Ray Bradbury. Something Wicked This Way Comes, another classic that I couldn't get through. I would like to give this book another attempt. I read Ray Bradbury's memoir earlier this year, and I already liked him before, but now I like him even more after reading his philosophies on writing. This one we'll give another shot someday. The last 2. It pains me. I love Brandon Sanderson. I have never read any of his books to completion, but I admire him as a craftsperson. I like his content and his lectures, but I've never finished any of his books. Several years ago, this book was given to me by one of my husband's old coworkers. That was probably 2016, 2017. He was like, oh, you're gonna love Brandon Sanderson. You gotta read this. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be the best. The Wave Kings. I got very far into this book and could not go any further. I was probably like 200 pages in, maybe. It is back on my TBR list. My husband and our friend Jesse, who lives with us, they really got into Brandon Sanderson at the end of last year and in part of this year. And I want to know what they're talking about. Maybe I'll give it another shot. Maybe now I have it as an ebook on my Kindle. Maybe I'll read it there instead, because this is a little intimidating. I don't know. I'm scared. But I do know I want to finish the City of Bones series first before I jump into any of Brandon Sanderson's stuff. The last book in my DNF pile, physical copy edition, is Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. Another one that I was pretty far into, at least 150 pages into it, and that was it. I was trying to read this while I was commuting to work on the train in 2022 maybe. Then Devin and Jesse picked these books up within the last year, and now we own all of them. Jesse's done them via audiobooks, Devin's done them physically, and then I have all of them as ebooks on my Kindle from our friend DJ. This is one I would like to try again. That's a pretty good size pile of books that I have not finished. Did any of these surprise you? Are there any of these that you think I really should take a second shot with? Or any of these that you agreed with that you couldn't get through? Thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll subscribe to my channel for more book and writing content, and I will see you guys in the next one. Wait, bonus, as I was putting my other books away, I just remembered 3 more that I hadn't finished. So I didn't finish Aragon by Christy Polini. I did not finish God of War by J.M. Barlog? Is that correct? But I still remember the author's name. Those are the 2 other ones that I did not finish.